How y'all doing? I'd start with this. I want to congratulate Coach Casey and Troy Weaver last night in the draft. That was pretty cool for the Pistons, man. It's a good time to be in Detroit. And then I would say this too, man. I want to wish Melissa Blau, man, the best of luck tonight. And David, for that matter. We said something last night in the team meeting, just kind of as I asked David, I said, hey, Melissa, when is Melissa running? And he's like 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So, and the team, man, they went crazy. So it was pretty cool. So they're all in tune for it, and we'll be watching her tonight. I would encourage everybody to watch it. That's pretty cool, man. It's one thing to be doing what we're doing, but on the Olympic stage, that's as good as it gets. So, best of luck to those guys. I'll open it up for questions.
Watch party for that? I mean, is there a take a break from meetings, or how do you?
No, but Blau will. He can do whatever he wants.
And we know nothing is guaranteed, but it does look like Benet is trending toward being a starter to begin this season. With a rookie like that in a prominent starting role, what is like the one main thing you want to hammer home with him to make sure that he has early success?
Yeah, listen, it's about just taking it day to day and rep to rep, because what can happen with those guys, he's got the talent, he's got the ability, is not to lose confidence. I think that's a big thing, because he's going to have a couple of bad days. It's just going to happen. It happens with the best of them. And so I think him is just, man, take it in. Why did it happen? How do you correct it? Why did it happen? How do you correct it? Move on to the next one. And so to me, it's just about, hey, man, learn from it. Let's move on. Learn from it. Let's move on. And the best thing for him is going to be Romeo Okwara. That is the absolute best. That actually gives me hope, because I know Romeo is going to give him a full day's work every day, walk through to the finish of practice, start to end. And he's going to get somebody that's got length and a motor and knows how, he's crafty, knows how to use his skills. So he's going to force this guy to get better fast. He's going to have to. So that's encouraging.
Do you throw Romeo at full speed right away?
Oh yeah, it's coming. This will be good.
Yeah.
A question about Jamal Williams. What's it like to have a veteran running back providing depth and how you play, big games, big moments, things like that?
It's big. It means a lot to me, because I've been fortunate to be around some good ones. And the place I just came from, man, we had, obviously with AK, and then to have Mark Ingram when I first got there. Mark was a stud. Still is a stud, by the way. But man, so that's my vision of this 1-2 punch, man, and so that Mark Ingram, to have what we had after he left with Murray as well. Murray was that guy for us, and that's how I see Jamal Williams for us, for Detroit. And to know that he's high energy, he's a bit of a hammer, and I think he's a guy that your team can feed off a little bit. I said that when we signed him, but that was always what Mark was for us, and Latavius Murray when Mark left, and that's what Jamal is, man.
When you sign a guy like that, regardless of position, but him in particular, you spell out his role so he knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. He knew exactly what, and he embraces it, and he wants to be here. And by the way, it's not like it's a 1-2 punch, and both of those, we're going to use those guys, both of those guys. They know that. But I'm telling, the guy gets a hot hand, he's rolling. If Jamal's in there rolling, Jamal's going to be rolling. And then we'll use Swift for some of the other things, which is fine. That's a good problem to have. But I'm glad we got him. I know that.
How was the starting camp? Just what the work you put in the spring is ability to come in and kind of get the ground running and run this offense and get the right spots. Been happy with kind of where you're
I really have. He's been good. You can just see him from where we were in the spring to now. you can see how much more comfortable he is and how much more he's taken ownership of this offense, which is what we want. We want him to feel like, and listen, dialogue, communication. Is there something that you want or you feel like we can do better with? And we take it. And then sometimes we're like, no, this is why we want to do it. But man, he's really growing into it, and he is embracing it, and it's becoming, and that's what we want. We want it to become what is best for him and his vision as well as ours. And so he's been great. He really has, man. You can see him growing inside the offense. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What is his vision? Does he want more shots downfield than he had last year?
No, I think for him, there's certain things that he really likes and he does really well, and he loves progressions. He loves progression reads. He loves throwing it downfield. He does, and a lot of that comes with run, play, pass, things of that nature. And look, we're in install 1, install 2. We're going to do install 3 today, which is really third down. We're going to do red zone tomorrow. Day off. When they come back, we start all over. And then once we do that, it's really more of a detailed, like right now we're going to throw everything at them for 4 days. And then we start back over basically once we get the pads on. So now it's back to 1. And now you can really dig in deeper into the playbook and open up some stuff. And so, we're not in the world of, hey, true shot plays right now. We've got throws downfield and things of that nature. But I just think there's certain things that he's comfortable with. And so we're trying to give him those things, which there again is a lot of progression. But he's been great.
Dan, speaking of the quarterbacks, it looks like it's shaping up to be an interesting battle for number 2. I'm just wondering what are 1 or 2 things you're looking for in the quarterback that's going to be the backup?
Well, I mean, certainly somebody that if something happens to, JG, that, all right, they can go in there and run this offense. And I don't think it's any different than him. You want to feel like, all right, whoever comes into that game is going to be able to function in this offense. They're going to be able to run it. They're going to understand what we're trying to do. We don't need you to be, I'm not looking for somebody to sling it all over the field. We just need to know that you're going to be able to communicate what we're trying to do. You'll get us to the right play. You're going to take care of the football. Smart football player, somebody you just know, all right, I trust this guy. I know he knows what to do with the football. I think ultimately is what you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm curious how you've seen Big V separate there.
Did you say Big V? Yeah. They're again 2 days in, but even from the spring and then to see him come back, just there again, he's another guy. His weight, got his weight in check, and conditioning test, he was good. And I mean, to this point, I would say good. It's good. He's a big man. He's a big man that can move, and he certainly looks good. When you look at Ragnow, him, and then there's Panay, it looks good. But he's up to this point, I would say he's in a good place. I know he physically feels good. I know he likes where he's at right now. So we're pleased to this point.
Alizé Mack,
Yeah.
you had for a little bit in New Orleans there. Is he better, or where has he progressed in the 2 years since you had him?
Yeah, well, look, he really hasn't played football. It was, honestly, since he left when I was at New Orleans, this is really the first time he's played. So it's not like he went off and had a couple of, there was a couple of practice squad stints he had after he left us, but really he's been out of football. And so for the most part, he's a rookie. He's a rookie. And so he's still learning and trying to grow here a little bit. And but I know this, that the talent that I saw when I had him is still there. I know that. And, the more comfortable he can get in the offense to where he can play faster and really use it, because I'm telling you, he's gifted. The kid is gifted. But the more comfortable he gets where he can cut it loose, he'll really grow, And look, I'm hopeful we're going to give him an opportunity here to see what he can do, and, and then just we'll see where it goes. See how he handles it.
Two just real small things. Yesterday, there was somebody holding up personnel groupings on the sideline. 11. Do we see that in college? Is that just a practice thing, or just the defense know?
Well, we'll do that during the game too, but that's exactly what it is. It just helps them. You got your own personnel in the game with your call, but once that comes in, it really helps the secondary, the linebackers know, okay, they have their base personnel in, or they have their sub. And honestly, I'm not so sure we shouldn't do it on offense, because sometimes there's things, it sounds good on paper, hey man, we're going to run it when they're in sub, but sometimes it messes you up because you forget that little nickel now is really a Sam linebacker or a Will or whatever he is. And so, I think it really clears things up when truly know, without having to try to search for it. Okay, I know what like if you could just look at the sideline and go, I know what they're in. They're in base or sub. But that's what it does. It really helps them.
And then second one is, I know you plan these things out ahead of time, and there's 3 preseason games instead of 4 this year. So how do you use those to get ready? Like, is game 2 now the old game 3? Is game 3? What's the?
I'm telling you, it's been crazy. It's been all summer. I've gone back and forth, and I've thought about, well, what if you did this, and then what if you used 2 as 3, and then 3 you didn't, and then it's because the reality is, for the vets, they've gained a game. They've lost nothing, but they've gained an extra game because they weren't going to play the 4th preseason game anyway. So, which is why you're asking it. But yet, my gosh, you got to get some. We're a new staff, new players, everything, and you want them to get in the flow of a true game with each other before you get to the season. And even between preseason game 3 and when you play, you're talking about 2.5 weeks, whatever that is. It's a long time. And so you'd hate to get in the game and be like, all right, we finally found our rhythm in the 3rd quarter against San Francisco. My gosh, we'll be down. So it's, you know how it is, but then you're trying to weigh where you're at. What do you feel like? I think a lot of it's going to be predicated on where are we at with the roster injury-wise. Hopefully we're healthy and we feel good and all that. How do we really feel about our practices, how we've looked? And I think that's just going to have to, a lot of it's going to have to be how myself and the staff feels about where we're at. What do we truly feel like we need? I would say that. I have to say that. I'm still I'm back and forth with it. Every day, man, I wrestle with it. It's funny you brought it up. Because I was actually thinking about it last night again, driving home. Yes, sir.
2 more questions, Dan. So yesterday, Dean Marlowe and Jeff McCool, they both had high remarks for Aubrey Pleasant after practice. Just early on, what are some of the things that you've seen how big he's been for?
He's a stud. He's a stud. I was in his meeting. So I try to go to all our coaches' meetings at some point or another, watch the practices, after the practice, watch the film, or I'll go in for installs and, just kind of get a feel of them with the players, but just to get a feel of the players interacting with them, and how are they, just the feel of the room. And he's as advertised. I would tell you that. He is a hell of a teacher. He's engaging. He's thorough. He's interactive. He's energetic. He's vibrant. He gets it, man. There's a reason why he's good at what he does, and he's coached some good players and developed young talent, and so he's been a hell of an asset for us. Look, and I'll be honest, the whole staff is, because I've sat in all I was with Deuce last night as well, and let me tell you something. You want to have a good time and go in there and watch guys grow and learn, but laugh, and it's impressive. But he is on it, and I've said it all along. We're teachers. We really are, Now, we may not always have the proper grammar and say all the right things, but that's what we are. We're teachers, and we teach football. And you got to learn to communicate. And, how do you pull out the most out of these guys and make them, help them live up to their full potential? The only way to do that is to be able to connect with them. And once you connect, then you can really, really teach them, because now you got them. But it's impressive. It really is.
No CJ Moore practice yesterday. Any update on this day?
Yeah, so he just had a back spasm from lifting the day before, and he was good. We wanted to make sure he was fine. He'll be out there today. That's the plan. So he's good. Yep. All right, thanks.